Welcome to Khanversations. I'm Muqtedar Khan, your host, and today I have with me the distinguished diplomat, Ambassador Talmiz Ahmad Sahab, who has served as India's ambassador to several countries. Ambassador Sahab, welcome to Khanversations.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
I'm a little bit curious, Ambassador Sahab. Yesterday, in the last 2-3 days, India had this fourth HOMS, Heads of Missions Conference, where Prime Minister Modi also spoke, Dr. Jaishankar also spoke. You must have followed. You must have attended at least one of them, right? This is the 11th. Oh, never.
I attended earlier when I
was.
Yeah,
the earlier ones. Yeah. That's what I meant in the past. So my question was that I was looking at, obviously they are not going to share what was all discussed. I understand that. But the theme that was highlighted was 3 T's. They said tourism, technology, and trade are the 3 things that India is going to focus on going forward. They are retooling Indian diplomacy in such a way that the diplomacy prioritizes India's economic interests. So my one question was that why was no attention paid to security issues? Like, how would they? Like, there was, if they were looking only for T's, terror was already a T. So they could say that we are going to focus on trade, technology, tourism, and combating terrorism. So the T would fit in right away. So I was very curious as to, does India separate national security issues from diplomacy and foreign policy, or is just not something that deserves too much attention?
My understanding is a little different. There is hardly any information in the public domain about what was actually said and discussed and examined and finally approved as an action plan for the future. We don't know. What you have got are headline grabbing information, which is overall quite unsatisfactory. And it leaves us dissatisfied because we want to know more. We are no longer very amused by glib acronyms, glib abbreviation, the 3 T's, the 5 U's, the 3 days, the 4 days, etc. Much of that has gone. They also mentioned strategic partnership, that India should develop strategic partnership. Nothing that is in the public domain, in fact, is new. Basically, what was interesting to me was the title of the conclave, Reforming Indian Diplomacy for 2047. As you know, 2047 is the 100th anniversary of our independence. It is also going to be the year when we will declare ourselves an advanced state. We will have reached the parameters of Viksit Bharat. We would have reached that, and that is all of 20 years hence. So it's a very narrow margin within which extraordinary achievements have to take place. The title, therefore, of this conclave was Reforming Indian Diplomacy. I was a little upset by the term reforming, as if Indian diplomacy needed to be corrected or reformed, as if it was on the wrong track. They could have said re-energizing, they could have said reinvigorating, but reforming, I was unpleasantly surprised they used that term, because reforming indicated that whatever we've done so far needs reform. Unless they need, so I would say that. Now, whatever, after I had read as much as I could, the thoughts that came to me, firstly, I want to assure you that security issues would have been paramount. Though they don't occur in the public domain, many of these are very sensitive because they would include assessments by our top leaders, the Prime Minister, the National Security Advisor, the External Affairs Minister, their assessments of India's priority concerns and certain broad directions or where we are likely to. So there would have been these assessments. What has come in the public domain? The importance of the relationship with China, the importance of West Asia, the importance of BRICS, and the importance of ties with the United States. So I would assure you that all the principal issues that will be challenging India over the coming 20 years as we move towards advanced status would have been examined in considerable detail. Now, many people, I want to now go into a personal position in this regard. There is a lot of discussion already in the Indian media and elsewhere that India has somehow shifted away quite significantly from strategic autonomy or multipolarity or non alignment, whatever you wish to call. I still use the traditional term strategic autonomy, and is affiliating itself with an emerging alignment in the region, in our neighborhood, the United States, Israel, UAE, India alignment.
I too
There is a
believe.
lot of discussion in this regard. We point out over here that Prime Minister Modi visited Netanyahu a day or so before the war with Iran. I have reflected on this quite a bit. My own sense is, and I will share this with you as carefully as I can, my own sense is that there is no way India will ever give up on strategic autonomy. There is no way, because India, when we opted for non-alignment in 1947, it was not something that we had a certain option that certain people pushed us in some direction. No, India, I would say to you in a very crude, basic way, India is too large, too old, and too anarchic to subordinate itself to some other alignment's diktat. It's not going to happen. India cannot be somebody else's. We were not that in 47, and there is no way we are going to be that in 2047. It's not going to happen. There are certain criticisms that we make about certain specific ways in which we handle certain relationships. For example, many of us, including myself, have criticized the way we've handled the war in West Asia, with the relationship with the United States, the relationship with Israel, the management of ties with the Iran. We are critics. We are critics of specific actions and policy options adopted. But I do not believe that India is going to give up on strategic autonomy. Now, where do we go wrong? Why do we make the mistakes that I have mentioned in the way I did? The reason is that we have no strategic vision. We do not have therefore, any understanding of where we should be going. I have mentioned to you in the past, we also have no moral compass. We do not position ourselves on the basis of certain core values that we will not compromise. That is the core criticism I have. But it does not mean that, therefore, we seem to be lurching. Sometimes we lurch in favor of the United States, or we are terrified that some tariffs will be imposed upon us by an erratic leadership, and therefore we go along with certain demands made upon us. We closed all options with regard to Chabahar, but are leaking information that actually this is just for public consumption. We continue to maintain close ties with the Iranians. We don't want to agitate the megalomaniac in the White House. Things like that. There is a sense of, I had used the word drift. There is a sense of not having a sense of direction, not having any clarity of what is truly India's national interest. I am sure that many of my colleagues who today are at the helm of affairs in different embassies would have conveyed this message very clearly, would have talked about how we should be really garnering our interests in terms of shaping a clear vision and a clear direction. I cannot imagine a single Indian diplomat in that conclave recommending to the government that we should subordinate ourselves to American diktat. Therefore, it's an important conference. We don't know enough about it. Maybe some more information will emerge later. But
Sure.
as of now, I believe that this is a scenario of extraordinary crisis. Almost all the givens of the earlier world arrangements and world order are today being questioned. Indeed, they are breaking down. Some of them are being broken deliberately by the United States that had erected them earlier. But the fact remains that we should be proactive in shaping a new arrangements, new alignments, a new order, which is part of the post-American world order, post-American hegemony. And I think that is where we will be making our significant contribution.
Ambassador Saab, thank you very much for your once again an enlightening discourse. And as always, you're honest, candid, and forthright, and also very thoughtful. And so I found your remarks quite interesting and educational. So once again, thank you very much for joining Khanversations. We are extremely grateful to you for your time, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor. I wish you all the best.